Hello, my name is Cody Conlon. I'm here to talk about the topic I have chosen for my common essay exam for this semester. In the past year, since the beginning of millennium, there probably hasn't been a bigger news story worldwide than the COVID-19 pandemic that started last January in China and has now spread worldwide. There have been some countries who have been prepared for the onslaught far better than others: Australia, New Zealand, and since its initial breakout, China has done a really good job, and Canada. These countries did so by having early response, whether it would be from instituting strict lockdowns, heeding the advice of their science and health officials, or passing and sweeping tax reforms. These countries have all done a great job flattening their infectious rates and kept the death toll. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said about the others, the richest, most powerful country in the world, the United States. Response to the pandemic has been less than stellar. In fact, it's been downright embarrassing, leading the world with the most cases and deaths. The fault of this falls squarely on the shoulders of Donald Trump and coronavirus response team. Trump's partisan politics have divided America and Americans further and further apart since he took office. This division was never so blatant as it's been since the outbreak started. Turned on Fox News and listened to Sean Hannity dismiss nightly COVID numbers as Democrat fear mongering, and how wearing masks should be a personal choice, and how shutdowns/closings would be the financial of our great nation. Turn on CNN, however, and you'll hear a totally different tone, with all three various political commentators insisting that Trump is a uncontrollable lunatic who will ruin our country forever, and his Republican versus Democratic mentality did not apply only to the television pundits. It also spilled over daily into social media and, more importantly, local and state politics. Governor Andrew Cuomo, Democrat of New York, will demand his state be shut down in the afternoon, but 2 hours later, he will mocked by the president on social media, questioning if he really has his people's backs. And on my paper is going to show how the COVID-19 pandemic has been since egregiously mishandled by President Trump and his COVID task force, that it could lead to more American death and both world wars combined. I chose this topic because at the present time, there is no bigger topic than how we can get this pandemic under control in our country, and we can go back to leading more normal lives that we have been forced to live the past 10 months. Not the same lives. I don't think it will be able to be the same, but more normal. And this is not a topic for our country, but worldwide. Hopefully, other countries will learn from our leaders' errors and govern with honesty, integrity, with the welfare of their people. Key questions in my paper will touch on how the president could be allowed to go on television every day and blatantly lie to his people. How can a task force run effectively, knowing if you didn't agree with the president's point of view, you could find yourself out of a job? How is it possible that the world's leading expert in infectious diseases, possibly the most trusted medical figure in the United States, is basically ignored and questioned by the president, who has no medical background whatsoever? And finally, I will answer, how did the president mislead the people, and what was his motivation? there are many opposing viewpoints because America has been divided. According to the election, about 49% of Americans don't agree with me because they actually voted to re-elect Trump in the past election. But since Trump lost the election, there has been far less support, and within 6 months, the rates will have been jumped off that sinking ship. Going into the final week, I've done a first draft. I've revised. I'm pretty happy, but I'm still looking for a couple fanatically quotes from Rudy Giuliani for a different viewpoint. And that is my presentation on my common essay exam.